life's lesson. Join the trust. Protect the future. Go to battlefields.org.
Honey, I can't deal with this kitchen anymore. It's cramped and everything is outdated.
I know, but it makes no sense to move. I could call my contractor buddy Chad.
Babe, you've seen Chad's house, right?
Yeah, good point.
Plus, he showed up late for his own wedding. Let's get someone who's reliable.
How about Forever Remodeling? They have a team of interior designers, master installers, and project managers all under one roof.
Their reviews on Google look amazing, and homeowners post a ton of pictures of their work.
It looks like they even offer 3D rendering of their projects.
Just like my TV design shows.
Exactly.
Plus, AM 560 listeners get a free in-home design consultation.
From kitchens to bathrooms, basements to whole homes, the design build team at Forever Remodeling takes the stress out of remodeling. They're done on time and guaranteed to match your vision. Visit them online at foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4everremodeling.com. Forever Remodeling, stress-free and high-quality remodeling.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman. Listen Saturday mornings at 8. Learn more at willsave.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer.
It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeanne Ives and Amy Jacobson.
All right, big news coming out of Michigan after that primary. And that, of course, is the fact that Abdul El-Sayed took on Haley Stevens, and guess what? The radical, progressive DSA, Democratic Socialists of America candidate won. Abdul beat this Haley Stevens, and it was absolutely, it was a very tight race. He won by about 1,14,000 votes is all out of like about 1.4 million votes. The voters who showed up in the Democrat primary to vote only won by 14,000 votes. And this is a big deal. It was definitely the progressive wing, the AOC ring, the Bernie Sanders wing.
Yeah, they campaigned with them.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Versus the establishment, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer. They all lost. They lost last night in Michigan, and this is where your new Democrat Party is going, and it's pretty scary, folks.
In Michigan, you can have same-day registration, and he's an alum of University of Michigan, and I know there was a big push yesterday to get students that came in early, for Rush and things like that, and for sports to get out, same-day registration. And also, too, if you're a Republican, you can pull a Democrat ballot in the primary and vote. A lot of people voted for oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name? The female that was running against him.
Haley Stevens.
Haley Stevens, excuse me.
Yeah, that's fine.
That. But a lot of people were pulled because they thought she'd be, like, in a worst case scenario, if Mike Rogers didn't win, they would much rather have her because she's a moderate Democrat. She's an old school Democrat than this radical who wants, he hates Jewish people. He hates Israel. He wants Medicare for all. But get this, his wife, who's she's a psychiatrist in Ann Arbor. She wears a hijab. Mm-hmm. She makes $619,000 a year. They should give that money away. If he's a true socialist and a Marxist and a communist, he shouldn't be rich, right? But she doesn't even accept Medicare. Do you know that?
Oh,
at her practice.
Doesn't. Well,
no. Cash only.
Is it Medicare or Medicaid? Because usually it's Medicaid that the doctors don't want to accept. But regardless, she won't. She's a cash business.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course. Uh-huh. Yeah. How much of that is she really declaring then?
They should be investigated.
But the reason that Illinoisans need to be concerned about this is that if you don't think it's here already or it's not coming for you, you would be completely wrong. We have our own radical, progressive Democrat wing. Let's not forget it. They're all falling in line with the Muslim agenda, the Islamic agenda, quite frankly, because it's really hard to separate the two when it comes to activism. The activism, the energy is all on the radical Islamic side. We've seen the protest marches, supporting Hamas from the river to the sea. We've seen it everywhere. We've seen it on our college campuses. We've seen it on the streets. We've seen it in the public schools where they are out there activating them. And also, by the way, you're paying for some of this activism. The oh my gosh, Inner City Muslim Action Network. My computer went down, so I'm missing a few notes here. Sorry. But the Inner City Muslim Action Network is a nonprofit that is supposed to supposedly do, good things for the community, whatever, for the Muslim community, not the community writ large, just the Muslim community. They get over $2 million from the Illinois taxpayers, goes straight to their nonprofit. And what are they doing? They're actually doing activism. They had they just had a big march for peace or something like that in Marquette Park. It was just.
They had one down in the streets of Chicago.
They bust in people from Detroit for this.
I know.
It's
crazy.
It's insane.
So it was such a tight race that they declared him the victor less than an hour ago.
Overnight, a victory for progressive Democrats in battleground Michigan. In the closely watched, high-stakes Democratic Senate primary, voters choosing Abdul Al-Sayed as their party's Senate nominee, defeating establishment-backed Congresswoman Haley Stevens.
Tomorrow, we begin to mend fences. We have a responsibility to assure that we unite to make sure that Mike Rogers never sees the inside of the U.S. Senate.
312-642-5600. I mean, there is a very large Jewish population in Michigan, in Detroit, in Farmington Hills, in Royal Oak, in Bloomfield, and Bloomfield Hills. So where are they? I know that one of their super PACs, the Israeli super PAC, gave a lot of money to El Said's competition, but money wasn't enough.
Another NGO out there is the Muslim Civic Coalition, located at 200 West Madison Street in Chicago. Go ahead. Their whole goal is to create majority Muslim voting districts. That's what they want to do. That is their goal. They want political power. Mm-hmm. Yep, it supports the full liberation and self-determination of people suffering under colonial subjugation and foreign intervention. Includes people of Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Yemen, Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Venezuela, and Cuba. We oppose the ongoing oppression of Native American tribes, Black and African American communities, and Latino communities here at home. I mean, this is nothing. This is all a takeover. They want to take over our government and then, I guess, create a government that looks like the one in Palestine, the one in Sudan. Really? Is that that's what you're after? This is the Muslim Civic Coalition, and they partner up, oh, by the way, with Iman. And so that taxpayer money going to Imam is getting circulated through to other ones. Yeah, this was the national march into Marquette Park. Yep, we marched for faith, justice, and liberation. Give me a break. You've never been so liberated as an American citizen.
Well, this Hussein Piker, who I now call it the Piker Party, these socialist, Marxist, communists.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's
I like
Piker
it.
Party. If he says that his first line of business is to mend fences today, get the hell away from him. He says Americans deserve 9/11. He has said just the most disgusting things. He wants people arrested. He was campaigning, and we'll get to her with Francesca Hong, who's another Piker Party person. And he was with her the other day. This is what he had to say about ICE.
Arrest and prosecute and bring about corruption charges for every prominent member of this administration that is engaged in corruption, and prosecute and arrest ICE agents that have also done crimes as well on the job. That would be a platform position that I would want to see from the Democratic Socialists of America.
And yesterday he was at a pool party, a campaign on Election Day. El Said was with Hassan Piker at a pool party in Detroit, taking pictures, things like, well, your wife has to stay covered up, but you could be at this pool party having a great time on Election Day. It's just sick. Well, I don't trust them, and I think that they're moles.
Yeah, and don't think that this is just happening in Dearborn, Michigan. You cannot believe that because, again, back to Imam, looking at a Facebook post from them, August 1st. Okay, here's what they said. We're standing 10 toes down. We're not letting no rain turn us around. Hundreds are joining us from across the country to stand against the triple evils Dr. King called against 60 years ago. They invoke King, of course. Racism, militarization, and materialist greed. Whether that takes the form of ICE raids and family separations, the gutting of voter protections, or destructive military complicity, we are gathered to call against them for the evil that they are. They're calling the rules like, oh, you have to be a citizen to vote. That's evil.
Right.
But you
need to show an ID to get into
system.
you need an ID to get into the government-run grocery store in New York.
Yeah, read between the lines, guys. They're saying that a capitalist system or materialistic greed, code word for capitalism, is evil. These people are in your communities. You know they're in your communities. You see them everywhere. You see the burqas going down the streets of Wheaton. Oh, by the way, full burqa. And you think that we're immune to what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan? Hell no, we're not. They're all over.
312-642-5600. Let's take a call real quick. Rick in Des Plaines, you're on The Real Story. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Jeannie. My cousin just retired and moved to Michigan, only because they had a family vacation home there for years. My cousin is retired there, renovated it, but it's not. I haven't been there in years myself, but he said it's not the same. It's just not the same. As far as the burqas, I got them all over Des Plaines. They're just everywhere. Hassan Piker, that guy is a piece of cake.
I know. He's got to separate himself from him, but he's not, because this is his new, I'm calling it the Piker Party. I've just decided to label that.
I heard you. You're right.
Yep.
I'm tired of this. They're trying to take over and change this country. This country, it does not need to be changed. They need to change to fit in or go home.
Assimilation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm all about freedom of religion, but when your religion says death to Americans and conform or die, I have a bit of a problem with that.
Well, you have Abdel Nasser Rashid. He's in the General Assembly. His district office is in Berwyn, Illinois, so you kind of get an idea where his center of gravity is. And he's super educated. A BA from Harvard, a master's in finance and econ from University of Chicago Booth. Very, very educated. He's the first Palestinian American to serve in Illinois General Assembly. And of course, what's one of his signature pieces of legislation? What? Mandating Arab American history be taught. Mandating that. So this is what they did. And of course, he's supportive of the challah meals that passed as well. So now you have to provide challah meals in your public schools. Well, this is the groundbreaking legislation that this man does.
Well, this is so bad that even Chicago's very own David Axelrod, who created President Obama, he put on social media on X, it's answers like these that cause many to think if this chef, now we're talking about Francesca Hong in Wisconsin, their primary, by the way, next Tuesday, August 11th. So pay attention, because she's leading by leaps and bounds. I mean, she's destroying all of her competitors. But David Axelrod wrote, it's answers like this that cause many of us to think that if the chef wins the gubernatorial primary in Wisconsin, Democrats may be cooked. And this is what he was referring to.
You talked about your past positions that he keeps highlighting and, obviously likely would continue to do so before November should you win. One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve. And the position that I'm running for right now, and I think my background as a chef, will actually help me become a better governor that's able to bring more people to the table.
I mean, she's from South Korea. Her parents were born in South Korea. She sounds like she's North Korean. Yeah. With all of her policies, single mom, that, by the way, failed restaurant. Not that that doesn't happen a lot, but she couldn't even keep her restaurant working. And don't forget, I mean, she was hospitalized when she was 18 years old. It's on Wikipedia for bipolar disorder.
Okay, a text came in. All of my Arabian friends who grew up in Marquette Park are married to Lithuanians. Okay, is that the guy marrying the girl Lithuanian, or I that's very interesting. Hey, great. If they want to simulate, I'm all for it. If you think that we need to have Muslim majority voting districts, no, we don't do that in America. Sorry. We should align ourselves around common policy that is supportive of our U.S. Constitution, period, full stop. And that's not what they want at all.
And how, like, they hate America. How un-American is it to hate Thanksgiving and want to cancel Thanksgiving because somebody's feelings were hurt? It's like the buddy benches at Chicago Public Schools. Somebody feels safe, go sit on the buddy bench.
Well, I mean, I don't think that they're going to be successful. And, neither does Mike Rogers, and he's got a plan. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Mr. Rogers, why are so many people in Michigan so drawn to a Democratic socialist?
Well, I'm not sure how many it actually is, but the energy of the left in the Democrat Party is alive and well. People forget Bernie Sanders won Michigan when he ran for the Democrat nomination for president. There's this, we call them Minnesota Democrats here in Michigan, who are just far left. And the DSA, by the way, Democrat Socialist America, have announced that they're coming to Michigan, and they're here knocking on people's doors, making phone calls, dropping lit for higher taxes, for less freedoms, for bigger government, for open borders and open prisons. They're out there talking about this message. And for whatever reason, there's a young bent in America, it's not just here, who's buying into this siren song that socialism is going to make your life easier if you just give up more freedoms to the government. Good news is we're a common sense state, so they're not going to take on this crazy notion of what Abdul is selling. And I think it's his to lose, by the way. He's outperforming the Chuck Schumer candidate by leaps and bounds. And I really do think he's going to pull this out, and it really will be crazy versus common sense come November. And I think Michigan's the work belt of the United States is going to reject.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that, they will come to their senses. I do believe it. And by the way, Abdul was outpolling her by 10 points. He barely made it through 14,000 votes, won by 1 point. So, I think that he's got a base certainly in Dearborn. I don't know that he can expand much behind that. But the point in playing that clip, folks, and the point about discussing this is that 14,000 votes out of 1.4 million. Your vote counts.
Why didn't more registered voters show up?
Well, this was the Democrat primary, so it's not the Republicans. Mike Rogers didn't have a race, really. There was a race for governor. John James won that on the Republican side, so he'll be running for governor. I don't even know who the Democrat candidate is. Never heard of that person before. But the point is that you have to show up because they are showing up in droves, and they are out canvassing. And so you need to get behind a candidate and help them, and it does make a difference.
All right, coming up on The Real Story, is Governor Pritzker changing his position on Speaker Chris Welch? We'll explain.
Make your voice heard. Call or text The Real Story at 312-642-5600.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long. Not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear. Hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength, not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
Foundations of Freedom, a look at America's founding principles and the leaders who shaped our nation.
In 1796, George Washington made one of the most consequential decisions in American history. He chose not to seek a third term as president. So why does that matter? Because America was not built on permanent rulers. It was built on ordered liberty. Faith teaches that authority is a stewardship, not a possession. Leaders are accountable to God for how they use power. And why does that still matter today? Because republics survive when leaders respect limits and citizens defend them. Washington's lesson still stands. A republic is preserved when power has limits, and public service remains a duty to God and country, not a path to personal rule.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, Jeannie. So on Friday, Governor Pritzker was asked about Speaker Welch. Should he step down because he sat on this sexual harassment allegation, which turned out to, they proved that these allegations were true. The report came out on Friday by the Office of Legislative Inspector General. And this is what he said on Friday. So just take a listen and tell us what you think.
Well, it's not up to me to make the decision about who the Speaker of the House is. I didn't opine about it when he ran for it in the first place. I'm not going to opine about it now.
Oh, yeah, you have no power, right?
No, he's only got the biggest checkbook in the entire state and funds nearly everything.
So yesterday he was asked again, don't you think it's time now? Because now we know the dirty details about what he said to her and told her, I hope you're wearing underwear underneath that. I'm, of course, talking about the former state rep Benton and this woman who worked in his office, who also happens to be Welch's former intern. And have they spoken?
I have not spoken with the Speaker. I know that he has. That report was not a reflection of, as I understand, answers to questions that he gave. I think that the members of the House have had meetings. I know there have been various caucus meetings. But with members of the House, I'm unaware exactly what questions or answers were given. I do think that all of that should be transparent to people, whatever those answers are. But right now, I think he's going through a process of discussing with members what happened, and I would like to see and know more. I called for, as you know, the release of that report. I'm really glad that the commission released that report. I think that was exactly the right thing to do. And now the question is what actions will ensue.
So why just tell people you want him to step down? There should be a change in leadership.
I guess I'm not hearing you calling for a change in leadership based on.
There is more to learn here, I think, before anybody's calling for, and remember, this is a decision ultimately by the members of the House. They're the ones who elected a speaker. They're the ones who will re-elect a speaker if they choose to do that. And so I really think this is a process. We're separate, as you know, branches of government, and I think that decision will be made by House members.
But when, Jeannie, how does this work?
Yeah, well, no, they do. They can call for a vote of a new speaker anytime that they want to. If you have a sufficient number, you can do it. But typically, a vote for who is going to be speaker happens after the election. And how that is structured, how that it happens really depends. Do they do it with the old folks that were elected, or do they wait for the new people? Well, actually, no. They usually bring in anybody who won in November, and those the caucus members are the ones who decide and they vote on it. You have to have a majority of your caucus to vote for you, but he could easily be pushed out. Pritzker's just hiding because this is what gets you in trouble.
Right. This stinks.
And
as a woman, I'm pissed because it sends a message that political power outweighs employee safety. And women are not, they don't feel safe there. They don't. Benton said to her too, this woman, see, I'm doing you a good service. I'm keeping you off the pole with this job, meaning the stripper pole.
Yeah,
he was gross. But the
gross,
fact that, and then when he found out about it, according to this report, Welch invited her out to dinner to talk about it.
Well, I'm trying to find
the way you handle a sexual harassment complaint. I even know that, and I'm not in HR.
Well, it hits on the Republican side too. The North Carolina Congressman Chuck Edwards just had to back away. He decided he's not going to run again because guess what? He was getting ready to be censored. An ethics investigation found out that he sexually harassed people in his office in Congress, and he's not running again. He's
so
not
follow
running
his
again.
lead.
Well, Welch is at fault because he's the leader and he basically hid it. And like with Nixon, the hiding of it is worse than the actual crime.
Sean Fest returns on August 28th at the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca. Be a part of a live, on-location broadcast of The Sean Thompson Show, including a performance of the national anthem, followed by live music, food, drinks, and an opportunity to meet Sean Thompson. Registration is free. Go to 560theanswer.com/SeanFest. That's 560theanswer.com/SHAUN Fest. Sponsored in part by LeavingIL.com and by Unique Wooden Flags.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. A victory for the far left.
What we showed is that the power of our many is greater than the power of their money.
Abdul El Sayed, backed by the Democratic Socialists, narrowly beat Haley Stevens to win the Michigan Senate Democratic primary. He'll face Mike Rogers in November.
Mike Rogers is a guy who, believe it or not, went back to Florida so he could lick every single boot Donald Trump owns to beg for his endorsement.
President Trump called El Sayed a communist loser on Truth Social. North Carolina Republican Congressman Chuck Edwards no longer running for re-election.
Edwards' decision comes after a House ethics panel found substantial evidence, in their words, the congressman harassed female staffers. North Carolina's primary date has passed, and the GOP is now expected to pick a nominee quickly to face Democratic nominee Jamie Ager.
Fox's Eben Brown, America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect mainly cloudy skies and high humidity with a heavy thunderstorm in the area. Downpours may reduce visibility and create ponding on roads. The temperature will reach 82 degrees. Tonight will remain cloudy and humid with another heavy thunderstorm expected. These storms could bring torrential downpours, potentially leading to flash flooding, particularly in urban areas. The low will be around 68 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
MyPillow is celebrating our country's 250th anniversary with savings up to 50% off their made-in-the-USA products. For example, get the queen-size premium MyPillow for $18.98 and the king-size for just $1 more. Get body pillows with a free pillowcase for only $39.98. Get the MyPillow mattress topper for as low as $99.99 and $80 off the MyCross. All made right here in the USA. But there is so much more. In fact, they have over 200 products. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Chicago or call 800-489-0201 to check out all of the great products they are offering. Get everything from MyPillow blankets, sleepwear, kitchen towels, mattresses, duvets, pet beds, comforters, couch pillows, bathrobes, and so much more. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code Chicago to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products.
All right, I don't push products I don't believe in, so listen up because I love this one and I recommend it to friends and listeners. It's Virago Liquid Immune Support. Now, I spoke with Dr. Huber, the creator of Virago, many times, and let me tell you, he knows immune health like nobody's business. He explained to me the stronger your immune system, the stronger your body fights back against viruses, disease, inflammation, all of it. Yes, inflammation. Let's talk about that real quick. If you're having chronic pain, well, you might be inflamed, and Virago helps with inflammation. And guess what? When the inflammation goes down, the pain seems to go away. And he created Virago as a liquid immune boosting supplement. So it's packed with 23 powerful nutraceuticals working together in synergy, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and it even protects your heart, kidneys, and liver. And because it's liquid, your body absorbs it quickly. Now, I mix my Virago in with my orange juice every morning. I feel the difference. And guess what? You will too. So order your bottle of Virago today. It's simple. Go to myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. myvirago.com, coupon code IMMUNE.
Hey Chicagoland, Jeff from Jeff Buys Your House. The military taught me that every mission is different. You assess the situation, listen to your team, then execute a plan built around what's needed. Same with helping families sell their homes. Whether it's an inherited house, a parent needing senior living, or life's just taking you in a new direction, we don't show up with a one-size-fits-all answer. We start by listening. What's your timeline? What are you worried about? What would make this easier? Then we build a solution around your needs. No repairs or cleanout are necessary. You pick the timeline that works for you, keep your memories, and we handle everything else. Since 2007, our veteran-led team has earned hundreds of 5-star reviews by doing exactly that, listening first, and treating every family with respect. If you're ready for a no-obligation conversation, call us at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com. That's jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and last year I hired Level 10 Coatings to give my garage floor a total makeover, and I am loving it. It still looks great, shiny, and clean. Level 10 Coatings. Now, you've got to call these guys if your garage floor is cracked, stained, still covered in salt. Don't live like that. Get it done now so you can enjoy it this summer. Level 10 Coatings. They're fast, reliable, and highly professional. Guess what? I went to work. When I came home, it was done. A shiny, new, gleaming garage floor. A quick, easy fix, and it's guaranteed never to chip or peel. Why? It's not an epoxy job. It's better. Level 10 uses polyurea, which is much better than epoxy. So schedule your free quote today and mention me, Amy, to receive $500 off. Visit level10coatings.com. That's level, the number 10, coatings.com, or call 855-510-2628. Staff are local and ready to answer questions. Level 10 Coatings, your premier concrete coating experts.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, welcome back. It's Watchdog Wednesday. We've got Kirk Allen with us. So that's always a pleasure. Lots of good stories that he always brings up.
Yes, but before we get to, we want to quickly let you know, when we're growing up, we're taught to respect other people, respect people that don't like you, try and get along with them anyway. And Brandon Johnson, our mayor, he was asked about, Ali G, Alexi Giannoulias entering the race, Willie Wilson.
And a question about Willie Wilson possibly is making a special announcement on Monday.
You almost made me laugh. Sorry, start over, cut. All right, try it again.
So Alexi Giannoulias is out, obviously running for mayor.
I'm sorry. All right, try it one more time. Last time. All right, cut. Go.
Are you running for mayor?
Now, that time you made me laugh. Listen. Look,
aren't you itching to announce? It's driving me crazy.
Look, you all. I mean, I'm not even trying to be especially coy here. It's not that.
And he wouldn't answer the question. Thank you. That's yes. I sowed his laugh. I mean that guy, he is an absolute tool. But it only got worse because recently his CFO, his deputy CFO, and his budget director all resigned in recent weeks. Annette Guzman being the latest to leave. And so, of course, they asked him about it, and he got defensive.
Annette Guzman going to take care of her mother. It's not a fractured relationship. And
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Hold on a second. That's what you said, though.
Well, no. I didn't say her leaving. I'm saying the list that Marianne enumerated.
Hold on just a second. Okay. This is what you said. You said building relationships are important, and that if someone leaves, you're denoting that that's a fractured relationship. That's what you said.
Well, what I did. Well, can I be clear?
Okay. So what? I just want to make sure that we're clear about what you said.
Clarity is my paramount here. I want to be very clear.
So I'm going to respond to what you said. Annette Guzman decided to leave because she is caring for her mother.
Okay, right? That's okay, fine, whatever. I mean, here's the truth. I mean, you have one person leave for personal reasons, understandable. You have 4 people leave, all in the same area where they're handling your finances. Guess what? They're jumping ship.
And if they're not leaving, they're getting arrested or charged.
Yeah, so we have this Chicago Public School employee, found PPP fraud worth up to $21,000.
She's the COO. Her name is Crystal Cooper, charged with fraudulently grabbing $28K. Was it worth it? And COVID loans meant for struggling businesses. Jeannie, she has a 6-figure salary, and she lied about her side hustle income.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising, but look who's running the ship.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, but I think that there should be, I'm going to bring Kirk Allen into this discussion. Kirk, I mean, I think if you're a public official and you fraudulently, you defraud the government in any way, you should have a bigger sentence than if you didn't. You should have an upcharge, almost like it's a hate crime. It's a hate crime against taxpayers.
Bingo.
Well, I tell you, after all the years of what we've watched, I agree. They should be held to a higher standard. Unfortunately, they're not even held to the minimum standard.
Oh, that's a good point. Really good. We can't even get them to the minimum standard. None of these people get put in jail for any of that. Oh, you can pay it back.
Yeah, like the Oakland trustee, the family operation, where all three of them, jump ship after we send a FOIA. The son pled guilty, and he's paying some restitution. Not a single day, not even an hour in jail. Well, the father, finally, his case is resolved. He pled guilty. They sentenced him to 180 days in jail, but they stayed the jail time and a $500 restitution. You've got over $250,000 that this family literally raked away from the taxpayers, and nobody spent a single minute behind bars.
Well, what about this?
Even with felony guilty pleas?
That's disgusting.
The COO, Crystal Cooper. I mean, she's just one of 14 Chicago public school employees, some of who were in leadership positions and earned 6 figures just like her, that fraudulently obtained PPP, payment protection program loans worth $21,000 or more. My first question, why do you think, Kirk Allen, it took so long to uncover this? I mean, was that just millions of people filing fraudulent PPP loans?
Yeah, nobody's looking at it. That's the problem. There's supposed to be assurances to these programs, and the people responsible to verify this stuff aren't doing their job. I mean, these 2 trustees that finally are found guilty, they got PPP loans. We exposed that 3 years ago. They've still not been charged for those crimes, or I should say alleged crimes, but business had already been closed, yet they got 2 years worth of PPP loans.
Do they at least have to pay it back?
It takes is
Sorry for
no.
interrupting.
These guys didn't have to pay it back. Yeah, these guys didn't have to pay that back. It wasn't part of the criminal investigation, according to the state's attorney. He's like, well, that's a federal matter. That's up to the feds if they want to charge that.
Well, here's a little update, too, because, of course, it took years for them to uncover the Carol Amons fraud, the state rep. And Center Square is now reporting that on the heels of the controversy stemming from the investigation over sexual harassment, and Special Investigating Committee is scheduled to meet this week to inquire about the financial misconduct of Amons. So one begets the other. And she says, hey, bring it. I want this investigation. Okay. She wants to investigate it without delay. We're looking into the part. Yeah, that's what they said. So I don't know. And he doesn't think that the House investigation will interfere with the federal trial. That's what Chris Welch says. He's got a lot on his hands right now. He himself is under assault. He's got, the Benton case. Now he's got the Amons case. But it took years for the Carol Amons case to come out, and only happened through the federal investigation. So. Correct.
And a lot of that was done through personal confidential informants working directly with the FBI. One of those, fortunately, was one that we've worked with for several years, and she did a great job. And bottom line is, those people eventually should be held accountable. But I'm back to the same thing we always talk about. Why is it that we have to rely on the federal government to enforce our laws? What's wrong with our state's attorneys?
Well, I will say in the case of the CPS employee, it does look like that all came to light from the CPS Inspector General.
Wow, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Who got tipped off by who?
Who?
Local watchdogs.
Oh, local watchdogs tipped him off.
Oh, good.
Wow,
good.
You got the inside story on that one.
Do you think there'll be more than just 14 CPS employees?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it because the OIG, their report's pretty well wrapped up, and that's what they pointed to was 14.
Okay. Now, Kirk Allen, Edgar County Watchdog Wednesday here. What is the rumblings you're hearing about the future of Speaker Chris Welch down there?
Honestly, we haven't heard anything. We tend to stay out of all the politics. We stick to what the law says and what local governments are supposed to do. I've not heard anything from anybody on that matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about let's go to a couple of the stories that you teed up for the conversation today. Let's start with the White County Housing Authority admits to not answering a FOIA request. That's not a good sign. They're hiding something when they don't answer a FOIA.
Well, not only are they hiding stuff from certain people that ask for records, when the person contacted us and told us about it, John submitted a FOIA request, but what he requested, I thought, they're not even going to answer you, John. He requested a copy of all FOIA requests not being responded to. And they
Brilliant.
gave us the records. They gave us the records, which confirms they're not complying with FOIA.
What idiots. I'm sorry.
Did they add anything like we didn't respond to this FOIA because we didn't have the actual document? We didn't respond because we're not forced to create a document that we don't have. We didn't respond because, there are reasons that they wouldn't respond to a FOIA. We didn't respond because it's a personnel matter that's under whatever. Did they do any of that?
No, this one is on a whole new level of stupid. They responded accordingly. Here's the FOIA request that we have not responded to.
So now what do you do with
and
that?
Sure enough,
where does it go from here?
The very tips. Well, we ran an article on it, and John has followed up with some FOIAs. But the very person that tipped us off saying they're not answering my FOIA, he's right. They're not answering it because we got confirmation. We got a copy of his FOIA request.
Okay, and what was he looking at? What did he want to know from the White County Housing Authority?
If I recall on that one, it dealt with some financial stuff with the board members, but I'd have to go back and double check that one. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay.
All right. Well, what's the latest now with the Edgar County tabling appointments to the 911 board?
Well, the story we put up is kind of long because there's a long history there that goes back years when we proved that a sheriff being on a 911 board has a potential for a conflict. And it took us over 4 years to get an opinion from the Attorney General that we were right. It's a conflict under the conditions we presented. Well, here we are 15 years later. We have a new state's attorney, and they want to appoint what's going to be our next sheriff, since nobody else is on the ball. They want to appoint him and a deputy to the 911 board. So we bring it up in the public meeting. Hey, guys, the AG's already opined on this. You can't do it. And the state's attorney, there's been a change in the law, and there's provisions for recusal and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's been a change in the law that allowed the sheriff to be on the 911 board. Never mind the AG opinion already said they could be on the board. They just can't have the conflict that we still have to this day. So when the state's attorney made and then we're back to our state's attorneys are so brilliant in this state, they talk about recusal, and he cited a section in the code, and I read it right during the meeting, and there's no such language anywhere in the code. So what he told everybody in that meeting was factually false. And that's the part that just drives me nuts. These guys create some method to justify in their head why it's okay to do what they're about to do, yet the law never gives them the power to do it, and they ignore the key conflicts that are still in place today that was there 15 years ago. Now, granted, they tabled the matter, and we'll see where they go forward, especially after we publish the article with all the facts. But we're literally in repeat and repeat. It's over and over. It's the same thing. Just read, people. That's all they got to do.
Yeah, Hey, do you have an update, by the way, with the Kansas water case and Vicki Boutram? What's going on? Because she's headed to court today. Is it August 6th today or
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
I think she's headed to court tomorrow. What's the update?
Yeah, we're going to court tomorrow. As an update, the police chief approved an amended complaint. From my understanding, is they are going to up it to a felony charge because the cost of having whatever repair was done hit a dollar figure that would justify it being felony destruction of government property.
And of course, they're saying that she destroyed the piping when she didn't even run over the culvert for which the piping went over for the drainage ditch. And they have no proof that she did it. It's a very narrow street. People park on that, drive over it, move over for another car. There's no evidence whatsoever that she ever did that. And yet they're charging her.
No.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, she has footage of the person that actually did the driving over it because it was a neighbor, and she even called the police to report it.
Ooh, that could work in her defense.
So, yes, tomorrow's going to be an interesting meeting. We were able to get her connected with the defense attorney.
Okay.
And her hearing's at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and just today they put it on the circuit clerk's docket with a case number.
I mean, and then the person that gave her the estimate for the damage, who could have been a government employee who knew he had to, reach a certain benchmark in order to make it a felony.
No, they hired a local plumbing company who does that type of work to come out and do the actual repair. And once they got the bill, they're going to, charge her. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and I've got to talk to the attorney about this today. The mayor is on record saying the village of Kansas, has no drainage at all. That's their responsibility. They're not in charge of any of that. In fact, he even said they would get sued if they try to fix any drainage because it would hurt the farmers' drain tiles. Well, how does a village issue a site or a charge of destruction of property when it's not even their property?
Good point.
He's
acknowledged they don't own any of it.
And remember, folks, all she did was put some dirt along the edge of her property to prevent it from the sewage literally seeping into her backyard. And that was what, and then she went and complained to the city council because she didn't even know there was a drainage district responsible for it. And they took this is retaliatory in my opinion. In my opinion, this is retaliatory. And then they came up with these fake charges, cuffed her, stuffed her into a police car and arrested her. And now this is all going to court tomorrow and an upgraded charge to a felony. It's outrageous.
And I'm going to the next meeting, and I'm calling for the police chief to arrest the entire board and the mayor for violations of the Open Meetings Act. It's a Class C misdemeanor. They violated it at the last meeting, and I've already got confirmation of a prior meeting from the Attorney General confirming they violated it. If we're going to arrest people for this kind of stuff with drainage, trying to protect your property, then those public officials need to be held to the minimum standard, which is nothing more than you committed a crime, you should be placed under arrest. Let's go book them all at the sheriff's office.
Well, and is the water still brown in certain homes?
Oh, absolutely.
See. Why don't they address and focus on that problem rather than arresting Vicky and that they're wasting tax dollars? It's just go to court tomorrow. Are you going to have a free Vicky sign with you, Kirk Allen?
No, I won't have any sign, but it will be interesting. I'm not sure who the judge is going to be because, the one judge over there, he's the one that was pulled over for DUI and he got out of his DUI and
welcome to Edgar County.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any one solid, strong county in Illinois of the 102 counties that there are? Anybody? Jeannie, Kirk? No? Okay.
I suppose there are. They don't come up on the radar, so that's good. There are some good actors here. All right.
I will say in Kane County, that state's attorney up there has done a fabulous job, and he holds local governments accountable when we let them know what we find.
Kane County?
Kankakee.
Oh, okay. Kankakee County. Kankakee County.
All right, there's one. We found one.
Yay. All right. Hey, Kirk Allen, we got to leave it right there. Thanks for joining us. We always enjoy Watchdog Wednesday. I know you'll be back with more corruption stories from around
we want to see what happens to Vicky.
Yes, we do. We want that update. All right, we'll be right back. We'll take your phone calls, 312-642-5600.
You're listening to The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8924. 800-575-8924. That's 800-575-8924.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
You're probably listening to this in your car, so let me ask you. Would you drive without insurance? Of course not. So why is your retirement portfolio unprotected? Gold is portfolio insurance. It helps de-risk your savings when markets get unpredictable. Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of Americans do exactly that with no high-pressure sales and thousands of 5-star reviews. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making any investment decisions.
AM 560, The Answer.
And real quick, I just want people to know, not only did El Said win in Michigan, but Michigan's 7th congressional district went to that socialist William Lawrence. So just don't keep your eye on the ball.
Well, yeah, but you also got the socialist alderman running again too, right, Amy?
Oh, you mean the Fab Four? That's what they're calling themselves. These
guys are a joke.
I'm Lenny.
I'm Matt. I'm Roger. I'm Timmy. And we're all running for re-election. So if you're in any of our wards, this is a good way to get started, get involved, part of the democratic process. So you all can get involved, knock on some doors, talk to some neighbors, phone bank. It's a great way to build community and make sure that you're in charge of the government that you all pay for with your taxes. So between now and the end of October, and actually after, come throw down. We're looking forward to working with you. Take care.
Come throw down. That's a guy that hip and cool.
That's a guy that I'm going to sue, and I'll save that story for later.
All
But that Fab Four there, I mean, you talk about a bunch of bimbos. Holy cow. Oh, my. And they're so progressive.
All right. Let's go to George in Naperville. George, welcome to the program.
Yes, I was going to say if the speaker was an illegal alien, Pritzker would risk life and limb to defend him.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
No,
But if he was an illegal alien, he wouldn't be the speaker. But, George, I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, so this whole thing's
it's coming to a head a little bit. I mean, he's getting more pressure. Pritzker's backing away. We'll see if the Democrat women push him out again. I mean, his biggest advantage is the fact that he's black.
Well,
honestly,
the biggest advantage,
the Black Caucus,
not that he's black,
got him into power,
and the Black Caucus is not telling him to step down. They're telling him to hold firm. That this is just going to blow away. And that this is when, they always say, oh, we'll listen to the female voice. The victim's always right. Well, this is a time when we know the victim's always right because she was correct.
That's
and his
right.
behavior was abhorrent. So, All right, program note. Tomorrow morning, I'll be filling in. You're filling in next week for Dan, and we're going to have Senator Ron
Actually, 2 weeks.
Johnson. Yes,
But
and
whatever.
see possibly criminal charges against Dr. Fauci. Nothing's off the table yet. Have a wonderful day. Scott Jennings is next.